CK, you think getting an A on paper is hard? I slept on the street. When I was your age, I worked to find money already. Have you made money yet? So it's been this obsession that for me at a very young age. So when I was in the US, I'm obsessed with making money. It scares me. It scares me because I really do feel like, almost do feel like I'm the only one that have the resources and I'm willing to risk everything to change Thailand. ต่างจังหวัดบ้านนอก is gonna die with me. The day that I die, it would be a joke. You still use that word? ยังใช้คำว่าบ้านนอกอยู่เหรอบ้านนอกต่างจังหวัดหรือคนเมื่อก่อนเขาใช้กัน The day that I die, these two words will die with me.
Being outstanding and outspoken, I think there's a bit of culture in Thailand that kind of go against people who speak out.
Too bad for them. I'm not gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up anytime soon. You know, I have a standpoint. I'm not afraid to have enemies.
In case there are some people who doesn't know who you are, introduce yourself in your own version. Who is CK?
Sure. My name is CK. I'm half Thai. My dad's Chinese. My mom's Thai. I was born in Macau. I was born into a broken family. My parents separated 13, and that's why they sent me to the U.S. And I'm fortunate. Right, I'm fortunate. I'm not trying to victimize myself here, but the reason that I was in the U.S. was because my dad wanted to start a new family. My mom wanted to start a new family, and I live with my host family. I live in the U.S. all my life alone, and again, when they sent me to the U.S., it wasn't like a fancy state. They didn't send me to like Cali, New York, Boston. They sent me to Idaho. Like it wasn't like a fancy state. It was a extremely.
Is it a farmland?
Yeah, it was agricultural, rural kind of location. Why Idaho, you might ask, is because that's the fastest way to get rid of me. Because if I want to go to New York, Boston, I need to test. I need to apply. I need to interview. They can't wait. They are separated. They want to go their separate ways. I'm in the way. Get this kid out of here as soon as possible. I came back to Thailand 5 years ago, and we can talk a little bit about why. This is my home. It has always been my home. It has always been. I didn't have a physical home, but I had an emotional connection with this country. Because every year, my definition, my way of telling my friends that I'm going home is I'm flying back to Thailand. So I want to come back. I want to bring my talent back. I want to bring my capabilities, my know-how, everything that I know, all the resources I have, every money I've ever made from the stock market to make changes for this country. Because I'll tell you this, it's not that I'm trying to be a hero here, but I think the past 4 years, I've never really said this on any show. The reason I'm saying is because you allowed me to speak English, so I'm kind of going on a tangent a little bit. The past 4 years, I've had the luxury of meeting a lot of wealthy individuals. Maybe because of my fame, because of what I have, because of my business, whatever it is. I've had the luxury of meeting, gathering with some of the most wealthy individuals in Thailand. And the sad thing, I'll say this, I'm not saying everyone, but on their dinner table, the conversation, on the dinner table, it's a gathering of the most influential, the people with the most resources, the people who actually have the capability to make positive change for Thailand. But the conversation wasn't that. The conversation is, hey, my Japan trip was so great. I'm planning my trip to France next. My trip, how much you spend on the trip? 2 million? Oh my God, I spent 3. How much was that back? Oh, my new car is coming. I shit you not. These are the conversation. And it scares me. It scares me because I really do feel like almost do feel like I'm the only one that have the resources and I'm willing to risk everything to change Thailand. And for me, hopefully along the way I can inspire them to do so too. So, and that's the reason why I do what I do, because it does feel like it's just me right now. And I think, the whole point of making content, the whole point of me making content, and I try to spread this effect to more of these, media, is that the whole point of making content is to bring positive change for the country. And I really do think that right now, especially now, you see so much negativity. And, I was just telling the folks, I was scrolling down through my Facebook and through my IG, all I see are just negative news of like, oh, this businessman, it's tricking this person, โกง this person, and คนไทยโดนหลอกอีกแล้ว like there are all these, just social media is packed with negativity, and that's exactly what feeds the media, right? And that's what pays the bill for most of the media. And I'm really trying to be a channel, and hopefully can be an inspiration for many media as well, to positive stuff, informative stuff, helpful stuff can also go viral. And media holds a huge power for our country, and hopefully I can help, you and I can help foster that change.
Let's do that. But there must be some criticism that you are also running a business. How do you balance the two?
I don't care much about criticism because I know myself. I really want there to be an opportunity. Talk to the people who are closest to me. Talk to my colleagues. Talk to my closest friend. Talk to my sister. Talk to my mom and dad. Off camera, all I talk about is, how do I make Thailand better? If you go into the meeting room, interview my staff without me in the room, they'll say that I'm obsessed with making Thailand better. In the meeting room, all I'm saying is that if this is not making Thailand better, I'm not doing it. How can we speed this up? We're not growing fast enough. I don't care about breaking even. Like, Fast Work is about to break even, and I say screw that. I'm not here to break even. We're not growing fast enough. We have 150,000 freelancers. How do we get this number to 3 million? Let's change the business model. Let's this F things up. I'm not here to make money for myself. I'm here to change Thailand forever. So criticism cannot affect me because I know exactly who I am. I know exactly who I am. They call me a life coach. They call me this or that. They call me doing this to sell faster. They can call me everything. But I know exactly that deep down inside, for the purest intention is to bring positive change for Thailand. And that's why I'm excited for my death. The day that I die, it's going to be clear as day that this boy sitting in front of you never worked a day for money. Not even one day.
I'm coming back to the current you, but allow me to go back to Idaho. How did you not break? I mean, like, you were 13, you didn't have the warmth of the family. How did you not, like?
I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you exactly why I didn't break. I mean, I was taught by a very strict dad. My dad grew up extremely poor, very poor. And you can talk to my mom; she would tell you this. I'm obsessed with getting praised by my dad when I was very little, because he never praised me, and so I try every way. I've never smoked. I've never done drugs. I've always been a good kid. Never got into fights. Never bullied. Never front row seat. I'm not just front row. I'm front row middle. Worked hard. Do all my homework. Get the best grades. Literally, I remember I was in Macau. There was such thing called the Lotus Award. Lotus Award. It's awarded to the best studied. I mean, the student with the highest grade and with the most potential in Thailand, in Macau. I got that award twice. The Lotus Award. Like the best student in Macau. I got that award twice. My dad didn't even show up. And I would present to my dad saying that, like, hey dad, I got this award. And I had lunch with my mom 2 weeks ago, a week ago. And my mom was, I was asking my mom this. I was like, I wonder if dad ever praised me in private, you know? And my mom told me that there was a parent-student conference, a parent-teacher conference where they meet with a teacher, and the teacher was basically telling my dad that, this kid has a lot of potential. This kid study a lot, like you're doing a great job. And my mom told me he just walked out of the room. And I always ask for reason why. Why is he like this? Like everyone say that I'm good, but I don't care about everyone else. I just want him to praise me. And my dad would always come back to me with this phrase, and I have no comeback. And he would say, CK, you think getting an A on paper is hard? I slept on the street to pay for your tuition. When I was your age, I worked to find money already. Have you made money yet? So it's been this obsession that for me at a very young age. So when I was in the US, I'm obsessed with making money. Absolutely freaking obsessed. Not because I want to buy things. I've never been a car guy, never been a material guy, never like to buy stuff. I don't like brand name logo. I just don't like it. I don't care. I just want him to praise me. So I'm obsessed with making money because I want to shut my dad up one time. Just freaking praise me one time. And so I did not break because I always thought that my dad had it worse than me. He had it worse than me. I never slept on the street. He did. He slept on the street in Macau. He swam from China to Macau as an almost illegal immigrant when Macau was starting out, and he slept. He slept there and worked his way to send me to the US. I had no comeback to that. I never slept on the street. I never begged for money. I never had to worry a day if I had water or food. So I have no comeback. So the only way I can beat him at it is I can make money, and more money than he did. That's the only way I can come back. And even to this day, he doesn't praise me. But today I understand. Today, after I've grown up and I've talked to him and I stand him more often, that's his love language. If he yells at me, if he doesn't praise me, that's his love language. He loved me. I know he loves me. It's just that's his love language. That's his way of expressing love. Now I understand. But when I was a kid, I didn't.
Just a few more about personal stuff. If you become a father, would you raise your son the way that you were raised? Or because of the difficulty that you had, sort of made you the way you are today.
I talk to my sisters a lot, and I'm sorry to mom and dad who are listening. I talked to my sister a lot, and we all said that we're thankful for our parents because it taught us what we don't want to become. If you ever met our parents and you talk to all three of us, me and my sister, we're just completely different people. Like my dad is extremely rude. Like he yells, he raises his voice a lot. He would say this harsh thing to me, to my sister, saying that I'm worthless, and he say harsh things. I remember like so many nights, vividly, even today, so many nights of me just faking I'm gonna fall asleep while I'm hearing my parents are yelling, like trying to kill each other, like every night. Like I'm right there in the same room. And this would happen every night. And my mom's not very ambitious. She's a kind of laid back person. So no, I would not be this version to my own kids. But I would teach my kids suffering. You know what made me today is because I suffered. I suffered when I was in the US. Suffer in terms of I had to figure things out. Like I realized that if I don't crack this wall, nobody's gonna crack this wall for me. I'll give an example. People listen to at home. I'm not saying that I have it worse than everyone else, but all I'm trying to say is, I was in Idaho. I had to get out of Idaho. Nobody's gonna help me do that. I had to find a way. I Google, research, call, apply, I fly myself, interview, come back. That was me at 13. When I was in high school, I fly to different college, apply my application, all that stuff myself. When I went to college, I moved in myself. You know, when I was in college first day, usually like the kids with a bunch of parents helping, holding the mattress, I was that kid that, hey, can I get behind your truck? Where are you going? Walmart? I'll go with you. I'm that kid. Moved in myself with no support whatsoever. Figure my things out. Apply for jobs, interviewed, find a way to survive, pick my major, studied, disciplined, worked hard, got my CPA. I was disciplined because no one was forcing me in the back, you know? Yeah, so I would teach my kid pain and suffering. Like, he's gonna have to make his own bed. He's not gonna get it made. He's gonna have to take a bus to school. He's gonna have to figure out the way to make money. There's exchange for everything, but I would not be harsh on him. Like, harsh as in, I would not say rude stuff to him. I would actually tell him that, you know, you can be whoever you want to be. Just figure it out.
Back then, did you feel like you were in pain and suffering? And are you in pain and suffering now?
Back then, I wasn't. I think, see, like when you're in pain and suffering, you don't know you're in pain and suffering. Like you know, I would say this. You know, I love pain in a way because it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right. When I'm in pain, it's like going to the gym. When you're in pain, when you're sore, when that last rep kind of like, that's when you know. That's when the real gains happen. So like when I'm in love with pain because I know it's good for me, and I really do believe in, you know, the concept of yin yang is you don't know what's happy if you have never been sad. You only care for your health because you've been sick. If you have never experienced sickness, you would never appreciate health. You would never appreciate peace if you've never been crowded with people, have to talk to a lot of people. You know, you can't appreciate another thing if you've never suffered before.
In your vision, what is that final goal though?
The day I die, the word hillbilly, ต่างจังหวัดบ้านนอก is gonna die with me. The day that I die, it would be a joke. You still use that word? ยังใช้คำว่าบ้านนอกอยู่เหรอบ้านนอกต่างจังหวัดหรือคนเมื่อก่อนเขาใช้กัน The day that I die, these two words will die with me. Prosperity cannot be located just Bangkok. It has to be the entirety of Thailand. If you look at developed countries, US, Boston, New York, California, Florida, Texas, Nashville, these are not ต่างจังหวัด Chicago, not ต่างจังหวัด, right? These are states. Every state have their own unique selling point. Bangkok, just Thailand, just Bangkok. Just Bangkok. That's it. Outside of Bangkok, but not ต่างจังหวัด. It's the phrase that Thai people use to look down on other people, and most importantly, it's a phrase that people from outside of Bangkok, it's a phrase that they use to look down upon themselves. Go study the most famous เพลงลูกทุ่ง. It's about be with that city boy. I'm an outer city boy, so your life can be better. Gong Hui Rai, listen to him. It's literally all the songs like that. And it's a shame. Our country cannot prosperity have to be outside of Bangkok. I disperse cash flow outside of Bangkok every single day. My business disperse cash flow to outside of Bangkok every single day. And the way I'm doing it is gonna grow every year. The day that I die, prosperity will be outside of Bangkok for sure.
How do you see เชียงใหม่นครสวรรค์ยะลา being like
Chiang Mai is not bad, right? Chiang Mai is not bad. That's a great example of you see an entrepreneurs went to Chiang Mai, Kun Tan, recreated a lot of stuff, created demand, created all this stuff. And I'm telling you, Thailand loves to point a finger to politician. Our country is like this because of you. Do you know who actually changed the country? Every country. Not politicians. Politicians can never change a country. What actually changed the countries are entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs change a country, not politicians. Kun Tan's a great example for Chiang Mai, right? We need to attract entrepreneurs to be outside of Bangkok. Right now, all the entrepreneur spirits in Bangkok, make them go back to Khon Kaen, Kolat, Yalas. You know, for Yala, like, I really do feel bad for that country, for that part of Thailand, because I have so many people from there came to see me and they feel like they're abandoned by the rest of the country almost. So we don't even have to go all the way to Yala. Drive outside, hour and a half from Bangkok. Drive to Lopburi. How it was 50 years ago, today is the same. It should not be like this.
Are you still enthusiastic about the country though?
Yes.
The economics rock bottom right now.
Yeah.
Things are very bad.
Yes.
A lot of people say that your generation is a bit unfortunate to be growing up in this climate.
You know, I never victimized myself ever since I was a little kid. My parents abandoned me when I was 13. I wouldn't victimize myself here now. I'm fortunate. I can change Thailand. You know, I think a lot of people, when they say that, they point fingers. Thailand's like this because of that person, this person, that person, this person. If you don't like that part of that parts of Thailand, instead of pointing fingers, why not point thumb? What can you do? What change can you foster? I'll give you an example. You know, 3 years ago, I started making content. And in my content, I said I want to make Thailand better. 3 years ago. Everyone was saying I'm crazy. Nobody talk like that, CK. CK, you don't say that online. CK, are you, like, what the hell? It sounds cringed. Today, after 3 years, just 3 years of making content, I walk into Chiang Mai University, Bangkok University, Thammasat University, July University, Khon Kaen University. Every university they walk into, hundreds, if not thousands of kids have walked up to me and say, I want to change Thailand with you. I'm gathering an army here of dreamers. Started with just me. Imagine there's 100, 1,000 more me's. How can you not be thinking that Thailand can change? I will change Thailand.
What's the blueprint though? What's the actual plan? I know like there are audience who watch you, but aside from that, aside from the aspiration, I think we know that execution is much more important than planning.
And you're absolutely right. I think I need two things, right? I need two things. One is that I need a voice. I need a voice that citizen trusts, which I'm gonna have that. If I keep on doing what I'm doing for another 10 years, my voice would be incredible. That's one. Two is I need a business that this country cannot not have. A must have, not a nice to have. What I need to do is two things. One, I need to empower Thai people to be able to work out of the province, make money there, earn money there, spend money there, freelancing. And that's why, I disperse income to outside of Bangkok every single day. I need to make freelancing actually the future of work of Thailand. That's one. Two, empower SME from all over Thailand who say they don't have connections. You need to have TikTok videos. I don't have any connections who are editors. I don't have connections for creatives. Well, you don't need it. I have everything. All the connection you need in one app. Affordable prices. So every Thai entrepreneur will have connections. That's two. Actually, I want to add a three. Is to make the world hire Thai people. That's going to happen beginning of next year. I'm going to incentivize AI. I'm going to have AI translation. AI translation meaning that every single country who wants to invest in Thailand, they want to hire Thai people, but there are no more that barrier of entry in terms of languages. They can breathe in Spain, Thai people, it will translate in perfect Thai, A Thai people would type back. It would translate in perfect Spanish. Empower the world to hire Thailand. Outsourcing services. China export products, right? Cheap goods, export products. I want to empower Thailand to export services. The whole world hire Thai people. No one ever done that before. It might sound crazy now. Crazy person and a genius is the same person. It's a fine line. So what I want Thailand to actually do is not to follow other people's train, but to create a new train. Following other people's train, you'll always be behind. But creating a new train, that's the way to do it. I'm here, I want to export services. That's definitely what I want to do. I'm not trying to be a freelancing platform. I'm trying to be the platform for all services.
So when the people have a vision and they put into the structures, it can happen. But in Thailand, even if you are right, if you are your vision is correct, but then with everything that's happening in Thailand right now, the people, the political and everything, how can you make it happen though?
By creating the best product possible. I really do believe in, if I have the best product, they're going to come to me. I believe with all my heart that every Thai person wants the best for Thailand. I believe that. I believe that if there's a chance that the Prime Minister is know that doing this will actually benefit the country, I believe wholeheartedly that she would know. She would understand. So it's actually my job to create an argument so compelling that she has to come to me. Or whoever it might be when that happens. And when that happens, we can try to push forward this together. I really do believe that I can create the change. At that particular moment, I really do want to talk to her. It's just, if today she was in front of me, I wouldn't ask her to help me. I would ask her to help farmers. The people who are suffering the most in this country, they're not us. They're not me. They're not anyone in this room. They're farmers. Farmers are the lowest of the lowest class in this country. If you talk to maids, security guards, taxi drivers in Bangkok, all of their backgrounds are farmers. They're here because they're trying to run away from debt that they owe from outside of the system. And that's the reality of Thailand. And I'm trying to tell you that where there are opportunities, where there are sufferings, there's opportunity. And there's nothing that has more suffering than farmers in Thailand. This is our greatest advantage, yet we're screwing it up.
Being outstanding and outspoken, I think there's a bit of culture in Thailand that kind of go against people who speak out.
Too bad for them. I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to shut up anytime soon. I have a standpoint. I'm not afraid to have enemies. Having enemies is a good thing. It shows that you have a standpoint. So I'm going to have a standpoint. I'm going to be outspoken because I want positive change to happen for this country. You think a few people always ask me. See, there was this drama about me and AI and Doctor like 2 days ago, right? And my close one, my sister, my staff, my team members, they asked me like, CK, are you okay? Like, how are you okay? Like, don't feel bad, okay? So don't need to bob me. I'm trying to change a country. You think a few bad comments gonna affect me? I'm trying to change this country. If a few comments gonna affect me, who am I to say I'm gonna change a country? Like, I'm bulletproof. Like, I'm goal-oriented. I'm gonna change this country forever. It's gonna happen. And my greatest advantage, I got freaking a lot of time. I have a lot of time. I have a lot of determination. I have a lot of discipline. It's gonna happen.
So your goal, if things going to your way, our way, in 5 years, people outside of Bangkok, they're gonna generate a lot more of income
Yes,
and
because
generate more foster
yeah, that's the goal here, to create more income source for Thai people. That's the goal here, and most importantly, Thai people from outside of Bangkok.
Speaking of good things, the last 3 years must be amazing for you. I mean, like you have come to the rise. You have
Amazing.
Your content reach to millions of people. What are some good things that you have seen face to face that you never dream of?
You know, I I really do appreciate, like, you know, the support is tremendous, and I feel like you know, the most beautiful thing about me making content is that I never envision. You know, a lot of people think like the people who are listening to me are คนรุ่นใหม่ young gens, but that's actually not true. A lot of dads, moms, 70-year-old people, 80-year-old people, they love my content, and they feel like I give them fire again. A lot of people who gave up on the country think that this country can actually be better because of my content. Do you know that I've received, like, I can actually open for you to see, hundreds of DMs, hundreds, who said that they came back from UK, US, Singapore, Korea, Japan to help Thailand because of me. Hundreds. And this is the beauty of law of attraction, is that I know for a fact, deep down inside, deep down everyone in this room, we love Thailand. We call this country Ban Lao, defined by our home. Other countries don't say it like that. Everyone loves our country. And if my goal is to make Thailand better, who doesn't want that? But we have to fight for it. You want Thailand to be better? Stop pointing finger. Let's point thumb. What can I do? What can you do? What can we do? We have more dreamers. Thailand will change because the person who will make the most change for Thailand are entrepreneurs. So dare to dream. Dream big. Break rules. Challenge the status quo. Be called crazy. Be misunderstood. Be courageous. Be outstanding. Have a standpoint. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Well, you are obviously charismatic, outspoken. Simple question. A lot of people would assume that, you know, like in Thai context, why don't you join politics?
Because I think politics is too slow. If I join politics and I want Thai people, again, to tell you one thing, right? Politics plays a major role in the country's development, but the person who actually create the change are entrepreneurs. Do you realize that EV didn't happen because of politics? Electric vehicle happened because of Tesla, a private company. SME did not grow because of politics. SME grew because of Facebook, who created a channel that SME can market themselves. Distribution did not expand because of politics. Distribution expanded because of Amazon, who created e-commerce. Cashless payment did not create it by politics. Cashless payment created by PayPal. Mobile application, the mobile device you're using. Apple, private companies. Who changed the world? Entrepreneurs, not politicians. And I want to change Thailand. So I want to be an entrepreneur.
If you have like 2 minutes to tell the world that Thailand is great, what would be some message that you want to tell them?
I would say that Thailand is amazing, not because of the roads, not because of the restaurants, not because of the beach, not because of the weather. I think all these are secondary. Thailand is actually only amazing because of its people. Notice we don't call it the land of beach. We don't call it the land of food. We don't call it the land of the sunlight. We call it the land of smile. because the power of talent is people. You know, I grew up without a home. I actually didn't have a physical home. And I came back to Thailand. The door to my home became Suvarnabhumi. And when I was staying at Goi Kwang, Bratchala Pampen Soy Lachada City, it was a small apartment. When I came down every 10 a.m., ร้านอาหารตามสั่ง shop, the ร้านส้มตำ shop, the ร้านเกาเหลา shop, the ร้านไก่ทอดเปิดหลัง4 ทุ่ม shop, the ร้าน game, the ร้านทำผม they remember me every time I'm back. What made me a home was not a physical location. It was the people. The people. Every year they come back, they ask like, CK, how is it? CK, oh my God, CK, you're back. Oh my God, you're taller, CK. You know, Thailand never a day made me feel I'm a stranger. My name is CK CHEONG. I hold a Thai ID card, but I don't look Thai to you. I don't sound Thai to you, but they treat me like their own. And they didn't have to that way. I lived in New York. I live in New York, U.S., many parts of the world all my life, and this is the magical power of Thailand, and I owe Thailand everything. The reason why I'm dedicated, I'm doing everything for Thailand is because I owe them my life. If I never had Thailand, if I didn't have this thing I can cling on to, I don't know where I'll be, man. I don't know where I'll be.
I left the final sequence of the show. If you have any question or if you have anything to share without me being the one who asks you questions.
I say ask more questions. Don't make statements, ask more questions. I think before you can foster change, you have to dare to ask questions. A statement closes the mind, a question opens the mind. If you make statements like Thailand has bad traffic, Thailand has inequality problem, Thailand have bad politics, Thailand is just bad, Thailand's like this, ประเทศไทยเป็นอย่างนี้แหละ If you make statements like this, is a direct definition of you accepting that this is the reality. But if you make it a question, how can I improve traffic in Bangkok? How can I solve the inequality issue? How can politics in Thailand be more transparent? How can I make Thailand better? By making a question, you actually opens up the possibility in your head. Instead of being the passenger, now you're the pilot of your destiny. You don't have to wait for the change. You be the change. Steve Jobs said it best. Everything around you that you call life, they're made up by people who are no smarter than you. The camera, the lights, the AC, the mic, social media. These are all made up by people who want to challenge reality. So ask the question. Challenge the reality. Do not accept status quo. Push agenda forward. Don't wait for the change. Be the change. Be outspoken. Be a rebel. Have a standpoint. And don't you ever let anyone tell you otherwise.
Thank you for coming to AMA.
Pleasure is all me.
I hope you have a
I had a blast.